What's going on, everybody? Here today, and I'm going to keep on being here. I'm going to try to make 2 videos today. Anyway, let's get to it. Like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to bring in more and more new content, but this video specifically is going to be for people that literally need to hear this. As you know, in my history of putting things on, I'm going to always put on things that people need to understand. Reality in this society, not something that you're going to be like, oh, it's more silly stuff or whatever. It's reality to obtain an actual situation where we need to figure out what we need to do in this society. And that's, living a humble life, understanding what's knowledge, understanding what's culture, what's real values, what's real morals. All right. Okay. Anyway, this video is going to be about, it's this video that I'm about to show you. It's called Women that are Against Parental Fraud. All right. Basically, you're going to hear everything this is about. I'm going to critique it as I do videos, and then we go from there. All right, here we go.
You can't legislate morality, but our laws and policies should always seek the truth.
They want the money from whoever they can get it from.
He would never do anything to hurt anyone ever.
I refuse to continue to pay for somebody else's child.
Paternity fraud creates devastation within families, and yet it is an issue that is rarely talked about or discussed.
Paternity fraud is a worldwide epidemic. It's not just fraud to the father. It's fraud to the child. It's fraud to the child's family. It's fraud to the taxpayer. It's fraud to the government.
Back in 2000.
Real quick. People always think it's just fraud to the man, so F the man. He made that decision on himself. No, it's not just fraud to the man. It's fraud to everything this society is. And more this occurs, more and more people will be in debt. More and more, you don't set boundaries on how you potentially will meet somebody and how you would deal with that person. It's stuff that is going to be more common in this. And this is common. This is something that a lot of, people that really don't want to speak on reality don't understand, that don't want to understand. Either they don't want to understand, or they just, just really don't care. I mean, or I should say, or they don't understand. They really, it's 2 things. Either they don't want to understand, or either they don't really understand. This is why it's great to inform people, bring out actual real solutions instead of complaints. Let's go forward.
I found out a very special, dear child I thought was my daughter. I found out after DNA testing that she was not my child, and that in fact, I had been deceived about who her actual biological father was. I went to court expecting that this would be something that would be resolved just based on the truth, because I could prove I hadn't lied, and we could prove that her mom either lied or made a mistake. The court didn't want to hear it. So after appealing it through all of the Court of Appeals, and I took it to the U.S. Supreme Court, proving that there's over 1 million men and boys like me in that situation.
Paternity fraud can occur in many ways. Default judgments, in-hospital paternity acknowledgments, marital presumption of paternity, and lack of legal representation.
My children had talked to me and asked if we could find out where we're from, because we've always been curious. My oldest daughters came back, and I wasn't on hers, and she wasn't on mine. So we decided to pursue further DNA that was state sanctioned through Tennessee. It cost us around $200 to get that done. We got the results back in within 4 or 5 days. The results came back as a 0% of me being the father.
This is why I think, and from my perspective, sorry about stopping the video. From my perspective, I think it should be mandatory that men get a DNA, to figure out if they're their child or not, especially in this society where the woman can do whatever she wants. I know a lot of you don't want to hear that actual fact, but where the woman can be, be as chaotic as she possibly can, or live the way she want to live. I feel as though if you want to get real change within women, first of all, men got to change without a doubt. Because again, I should say, because I said this before in other videos, the woman don't need to change when she's winning. And the woman is winning in this society, westernized society. So you need to change, man. And this is potentially would change a woman when you have people that they want to be on the DNA. I mean, want to be on a birth certificate. Like a woman determines who, you're the father, whatever, and the man thinks he's the father. This must be mandatory. DNA. We're not living in a morally based society. So why can't that happen? That definitely should happen. But again, parental, what they call that, parental things, fraud is going to keep on happening in this society, because basically nobody want to take that actual real solution of suggestions of solutions that you can do. All right, let's keep this going.
Even if a DNA test proves that a man is not the biological father of a child, he could still be mandated to pay child support for a child he did not father.
That is crazy. That is nuts. But again, it's up to you, man. The woman is winning for the most part. She is winning in the eyes of the government and the eyes of the court system. So what you gonna do? You can be literally not the father, after you take the DNA test, and they still will allow you to pay. So what you gonna do to change that? Are you gonna better yourself, start making the right decisions, stop doing things that what your dick is telling you to do? Or are you gonna keep on promoting this beta male energy? What's gonna happen? Let's keep it going.
At the expense of his own biological children.
My experience with paternity fraud is being proclaimed to be a father with a default judgment. How it affects my biological children is now they're in the belief that maybe they have another sibling out there. Financially, it affects my children because I'm not capable of keeping up with the bills and certain necessities that my own children need. When it comes down to me working a 40-hour work week, and at the end of the week, I'm being stripped from everything that I work for.
Not only does paternity fraud affect men, but women can be paternity fraud victims too.
The wife of the guy, the mother of the guy, the fiance, the girlfriend, his sister, his grandmother, his aunt. All of these are people who are often affected because when he can't pay the child support, he goes to jail, and they're often the people who are trying to come up with the money to get him out.
Paternity fraud has impacted me personally, emotionally. It's been, sorry. It's been extremely emotional. My husband is a sweet, sweet man. He would never do that.
This is very sad in this situation. There's many situations like this in this society. But I want to make another thing. I want people to hear something else that's a reality in this society. I see women that being with a man, and that man has a baby mother that's putting them through the ringer. And that woman that's with that man now, she's ready to tell the baby mother off, tell her how she is, she ain't no woman, this and that, third. Okay, and I respect that. But those same women be having friends like the man she's with, baby mother, that's putting other families through the ringer because of their illogical thinking, bitterness and stuff like that. And they don't tell their friends what they telling that baby mother. It happens a lot. This happens constantly. Many men that I know all over the country will tell me this, and what I saw specifically in my life as well. Okay, you got to tell your friends, if you are real with yourself and what's going on in this society, you got to tell your friends what they are doing. Because I know a lot of these women don't even tell a woman what she is actually doing. You know, it's one of those, yes, girl, yes. It's like, keep doing shit that's going to fuck up families. And that goes for men and women. Keep doing it. It's basically, if you're a real friend, if you're a high level thinking person, you know, a woman or man of some type of values, why don't you go for, even when you don't, when you love that person, go forward of telling them what they are not doing, what they are and not doing. Why? Let's keep going to the video.
Anything to hurt anyone ever. To watch him go through this and to see how it's affected him has just been really, really hard. And to see him being taken advantage of has been really, really hard. He's very trusting. He's a very honest person. She swore to him that the baby was his, and he believed her.
This is an issue that impacts men.
I mean, and I'm pretty sure her husband saw it growing up, how it was a lot of situations that a woman told a man that this is your son or whatever, or this is your daughter. And it was a complete lie. So if you men are not learning from this stuff, learning from mistakes that's around you or mistakes that you specifically make, it's on you. Let me fast forward this.
Came back as 100% negative. That is absolutely no possibility of his daughter being his biological child.
Very few paternity fraud victims find justice in our court systems, but are there really any winners in paternity fraud cases?
It's been almost a year and a half since I saw her. There's a lot of people that say that with our case, yes, we were a success. We made it through the court case, but there really are no winners in any of this. There's damage done to relationships between myself and the child, between my wife and the child, between my biological child and her as well.
Today, there is DNA testing, so there is no excuse for continued injustice.
Had mandatory testing been available
listen.
when my husband's eldest was born, a lot of this could have been avoided. The technology exists, and I think the law needs to catch up with the technology.
That's exactly my point. DNA testing should be mandatory. But the law, because we have all of the equipment, all the technology to do so, but the law is not catching up. So what's going to happen, men? You got to take accountability. You got to take responsibility on who you, what's the word I'm looking for? Put your seed in. You have to, because no one else don't give a shit. No matter how much technology we have out there, they don't care. They don't want to catch up because that would be easy. The government want to destroy households, if you ask me, because that's the only option. That's the only sense that will be made. That's the only thing that will make sense. That's the only thing that will make possible sense. They want to destroy families. This is how you destroy it. If you have equipment and you can make that DNA thing happen, you know, it's simple as that. And you don't want to be in that situation to make a solution happen. That's the only possible thing that's going on, destroying families. And we're helping. We're definitely helping. Let's keep going.
I was the first person to win this case using that law that says truth does matter. Using DNA to prove paternity matters. Using DNA to disprove paternity matters. And now a young lady is able to find out who her actual biological father is.
Women Against Paternity Fraud is a national nonprofit organization that addresses the issue of paternity fraud through our educational, media, and advocacy programs.
Okay, that's the end of the video. I want to say this. If you want, I'm going to put it in the description box. So if you want to look at the whole video, please do. It's only 12 minutes. So please do. It's very educational. And if you're a woman, if you have a son that you really, really care about and don't want them to go through the ringer, you will let him see this. And also, if you're a woman and you see that your friends are doing this, causing chaos, destroying families, helping the government and the system destroy families, you would say something, not just to the baby mother. You would say something to the man. I mean, you'll say something to everybody that's involved. And men, you got to grow up. You got to start taking accountability and responsibility on who you sleep with, who you having unprotected sex with. You got to, or it's not going to change. You see what the law is doing? They can easily make a solution out of this by making a mandatory DNA test. I don't give a damn if you married to the woman. Mandatory. Because it puts everybody accountable. Everybody got to be accountable. Everybody. But anyway, guys, it's like I said, this is going to be in the description box. And please like and subscribe to this channel. I'm coming up with a whole bunch of content that is going to be coming in. And please support Kasim Lamar Dream Big. Where we at? Dream Big Podcast. All right. Please support this and share it. Like and subscribe it. All right. Coming up with things that basic elements to have, basic elements to know in this society that we're in. All right? Peace.